Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Nigeria Now on Echo Television, where we keep you updated with the happenings in the country. Do well to join us through Facebook and YouTube. Drop your comment, your views, and your perspective concerning some of the issues we will table this afternoon and discourse. I am Sarah Elisha. I'm doing the program alongside Rachel Tensi. Good afternoon, Rachel.
Afternoon, Sarah.
All right, before we get into some of the matters we would love to discuss this afternoon, just to let you know that WAEC have released the 2024 result. They actually made this known on their X account today. And so for all those who wrote the WAEC for this year, should do well and actually follow the procedures that are needed on how you'll be able to see your results and whatever that is needed, whatever questions you have, the people and the right authority to actually channel it. So this is what's happening presently. Now let's get into the matters we would love to discuss from today. And we would love to start with the verdict coming from the Supreme Court, where they have extended the tenure for councillors as well as chairmen. After so many back and forth, they will say that finally they have actually said that chairmen and councillors will now be spending 4 years in every of their tenure, just like the executives. And it's more like a rejoicing for chairmen and councillors, because we recall the back and forth they have been going, especially in regard to the local government autonomy. We know how much the chairman needed this autonomy, especially where they are being treated like another, they are not even treated like another tier of government. Over there, they have been treated like just another branch of an organization. That is what we have been seeing. And we're seeing that even despite the last verdict that came, we remember where the federal government sued the governors. We saw that till date, we're still having other states that are still having a joint account with the local government. And we're seeing that it was clearly stated that the local government should have their own individual account so that they can actually have their own autonomy. And we're not just talking about an autonomy where they run their own affairs, but even financially, they run their account. Now, I see this coming from the Supreme Court is really, really a welcoming idea, because, this is long overdue. They have the right, they are another tier of government, just the same way we have the legislature, we have the executive and everywhere. It's the same way we are going to look at the local government. We have the federal government, we have the state, and we have the local government. And in my opinion, they shouldn't be treated less. But that is what we have been seeing. And we remember so many states are yet to even conduct elections. It was after, the suing where we are seeing a number of states rushing, trying to conduct elections. And I think some states are having theirs August, September, running till the end of the year. But I think this is really, really a welcoming idea coming from the Supreme Court. Now we see that governors will have no choice whatsoever but to run the local government election. And they were saying that they have 4 years. So that is to say that the people can also hold their chairman and their councillors accountable. Back was then we hear that a particular caretaker said, "You have enough time. We didn't have all that is needed." But right now you have 4 years, just like every governor and every president, to actually show that you have what it takes to run either from your ward levels, councillors, or chairman in the various local government areas. So I think this is the point where Nigerians are really, really looking forward to see. You wanted the local government autonomy, you have it. Now prove yourself, let us see.
Come to think of it, the reason behind the local government autonomy precisely is for the local government to be able to grow. It's for you to be able to have some significant amount of authority that will warrant it and give you the room for growth like any other tier of the government and all of that. And that is why I think that, of course, the Supreme Court have thought about it like very, very well and said, you know what, they do need more than 2 years. And look at it, why have we been having it for 2 years? It's because of the controlling nature of this local government councillors and chairman position by the state governors. And that's why we would have caretakers staying as long as the governor lasts in office, or whoever doesn't please the government just go out of the office, put who in, out, left, right, center, back and forth, all of that. If we really want the local government to have some amount of growth, of course, this is the right way to go regardless. Look at it. How would INEC be conducting elections after two years when we know how it's supposed to be? Let it have a time to run. For example, now, if it's now 4 years, looking at the fact that, of course, the gubernatorial elections have taken place, a year later we now probably have chairmen coming into positions or councillors, and then it gives them a period of time to run that. Even if a new administration comes in, regardless, nobody's time will be cut short, because now you have a new administration or a different party in position. But it gives the local government a chance rather to run its course when it comes to growth and all of that. So yes, it is absolutely the step in the right direction, and in a way, it is a good thing that the Supreme Court is taking absolute control and charge of the local government autonomy, because I believe that if it was left in the hands of the governors to decide, this won't even come in place, because as far as I'm concerned, they see these local government councils, wards, and all of that as a political playground, as a toy for them to be able to will things how they want to be. So regardless, when these people are in office by voting and all of that, and they have a period to run, then you know constitutionally that this is how things will happen. And I don't think there will be room for manipulation or control from the state level.
And I just have to add up a bit to the fact that I hope this is the point where we have local government chairmen and councillors that will actually stand their grounds, just like you stated, and not allow the state governors to actually dictate to them how to run their local government areas. Because I think this has been the concern, just like you said, if it was left in the hands of the governors, believe you me, we wouldn't be having this local government given 4 years to actually run. We're seeing what is happening in River State, what actually happened, where we saw the chairman refusing to vacate office because they were actually there. So it looks more like it's what the governor says that we will do.
Yes.
But I hope that the local government realize that they also have equal rights, in as much as it might not be as powerful as the governors, but then you also have the right to determine what development, what growth should actually be happening in your local government. Right now, all eyes will be on the local government chairman and council. Let us see what you bring to the table. You actually ask for it.
Yes.
You want to be independent. All right, we've given the independent. Let us see how you can prove yourself. Now we're saying that there have been a claim coming from the ex-president concerning the fact that the House of Assembly, the 10th House of Assembly, actually giving themselves certain allowances and salaries, and it's more like he went down through certain breakdown of allowances that they are actually collecting. And of course, it's reaching almost over 200 million. And it was more like you actually gave yourself all of these things, because looking at what is happening with the hunger protests, so many underdevelopment happening, of course, you can't just help but say, you know what, these senators and also this even House of Reps are not doing their various constituencies good. We know that certain constituencies collect higher than others, depending on whatever number of constituents you have in your state determines on how much you're giving. But I see they are coming out to actually kick against that claim coming from the ex-president. We've seen that over this few months, I mean this year, the ex-president has been outspoken talking about so many things. I mean, talking from the fact that democracy is not for us, and then going down to the issue of talking about certain monarchs. And then we also saw where he came up saying there are various politicians that need to be behind jail, and then we see people coming after him. And then again, we're coming to the fact that he's saying that the senators are actually giving themselves certain allowances. And then the senator saying, you know what, if this is your claim, bring evidence, because what we have is what is given to us. And we've been talking about cutting down cost of governance. So it's just more like going back and forth concerning this issue of, do they actually give themselves, or is it what is given to them? Or do they have the right to say, you know what, this money is too much, let's just reduce it. Nigerians are going through so much and all of that.
I would say that when I hear this back and forth, honestly, our lawmakers are clowns. So that's just the word. The 10th House Assembly is a circus show. As far as I'm concerned, as it is now, they can be offended by this statement. But that is the fact. Who gives it to you? You approve the budget. Presidency goes sit down, President Tinubu, they come up with the budget for 2024 or the years ahead. Who approves it? You approve it. Minimum wage recently, everybody talked, NLC, governors, we had the tripartite committee and all of that. Who approved it? Who passed it in the bill? Who approved it and then took it to the president for signing? You are the one. Now, I'm going to use the term that the federal government is using concerning subsidy removal, where they say it's technically, you approve your allowances. We're seeing a budget where personnel cost is very high. Who approved it? It's you. And this is where your allowances and all of that come from. So why are you saying it's what you're being given? If you're truly patriotic and Nigerians are talking about personnel costs left, right, center, when it comes, we didn't see you reducing personnel costs. We didn't see you reducing personnel costs. Rather, we saw you increasing money for other things. And the personnel cost that is as high, the highest of all our budget government, which is understandable because this involves running every parastatal agency, ministries, everything, right, is understood. But did you try to cut it down from your own angle? Everything passed through the Senate. You approved the second reading, the third reading. So who are you saying gives you your allowance? You are the one. We can remember the starting of the tent that they're sitting and all of that towards the ending of 2023, where the Senate president revealed that they were going to get some packages, and then when he noticed that he was not supposed to say that, he changed it to you received prayers and all of that. So the question is, who are the they that give you? Because we need to know. You are the ones that approve virtually every funding in the country. The budget comes your way, you sit down, you deliberate, you add and you minus. So who approves your allowances? You're the one who sit down and decides. The presidency may come up with an overall of what the budget might be. You approve supplementary budgets, you approve allocations on what will go to in the budget, that is to every agency, to every sector and all of that. And this includes your expenses in it. So technically, who is the person who gives you allowances? You still are the one, because we've not seen a situation where we came back and said, okay, this is personnel cost. We don't get the chance to see the precise breakdown of what and who gets this personnel cost exactly. But we've not seen the place where you sat down and said, well, under this personnel cost, what goes to the 10th House of Assembly, we're going to cut it down and reduce it because we are patriotic. Rather, we've seen you made moves for bulletproof cars. We've seen you made moves for yachts. We've seen you approve allowances. Once it comes, anytime anything comes, you are the one who approve every bill that passes, whatever form, be it your allowances or not. So who are you trying to say approves all of these expenditures in the country and all of that? So yes, when I hear our lawmakers say certain things, you just can't help but wonder, are they serious when they are sounding like that? Because in the end, all these things pass through, and we've never seen where you cut down expenses because you're patriotic. I don't know. Rather, you keep giving yourself allowances, you keep approving things that Nigerians will talk about, and in the end, you say nothing about it because you know Nigerians cannot do anything about it.
You know, sometimes when you look at certain things, it looks like 10th House of Assembly enjoy the attention they're getting from Nigerians.
They do enjoy it, yes.
Just like you stated, there are so many things. I mean, you and I have gone through the breakdown of the allowances of every senator, for example. We see newspaper allowances, we see hardship allowances, and you just can't help but wonder, what hardship do you go through? And then you see vehicle allowances, and then you see motor vehicle allowances. Yes. And you wonder, what is the difference between these two? And there's certain allowances that you just can't help but say, you know what, all of these allowances are supposed to be pulled out. But just like you stated clearly, who approved that money? You do. Because nobody will be paid a particular amount without you going through it, except if you're saying we're being bypassed. And there's certain things, or you're trying to tell Nigerians that you've not gone through certain things. And so you just sign it, just like you stated clearly. I mean, talking about the personnel cost. Are you telling us you didn't go through the 2024 budget? How much is education getting? How much is transportation getting? How about health sector? We're seeing how our health sector keep going down. I mean, I just can't help but yesterday, a friend of mine was sharing where he went to one of the government hospitals to donate blood, and then on getting there were no bags.
Wow.
So you could imagine, Rachel, whose responsibility was it? I mean, you are just going there after all to just donate, and then there are not even bags for you to give. So you just can't help certain things. And then here we have our lawmakers talking about certain things and saying, bring your claim. Well, I just hope that this will not be given so much attention, but rather let us see them coming up and be accountable. Because for each House of Assembly that comes in, you just can't help but wonder, they look more like a joke to Nigerians. I mean, just when Nigerians were talking about the 9th House of Assembly being a rubber stamp, we've seen another 10th House of Assembly that seems to be, you just can't help but wonder what is really happening. But let's just keep our fingers crossed and see how far this conversation between the ex-president Obasanjo as well as the 10th House of Assembly. But we hope that we'll be able to have a justifiable reason why they're saying this is what we have been paid. Forget the fact that they actually approved that. Well, Richard, I guess that's how far we can go this afternoon. Thank you so much for doing this.
You're welcome.
As well, thank you to our viewers. Thank you also to the production crew for putting up the show and making sure it's prompt. Until we come your way again tomorrow, please do have a wonderful day ahead.